2016 omo de mayen 2012 omo de mayen 2020 omo from mayen enti they the partner then it makes sense na utie I don't want to mention names now quite personal, but I want to deal with it as an institution. I want to deal with the NDC, President Mama, and all of them as an institution. Say here. Say ECA be young from Sokra Kwakas woman Edim Kunim, Nanya woman Edim Kunima. One be dear Chinye, and some woman say, then I EC can not conquer or can or young from Swakama Womo. Now I catch you. The Omu Yan Echo. When you say Bessine, Chairman General?
Yes.
2016 general elections. One will need independent compiled reports on their own of the results. Ask them. Say 2016 general elections now, you know. CPP, I want the Yantimian sending Nipa in all the 29,002 polling stations in that elections. No crano. Yet me compiling independent results. Ask them. Edu baby munya mu dwane free compilation center or electoral commission. You see, said the minister can I tend to agree with him. Omo incompetence even in opposition scare omo. And they are preparing the ground for this. Now Chairman General Tio from 1992 about fourth Republican dispensation. Abano yeto no polling station. Yeto a polling station where we are. Ye kind a polling station ho. Ye kind a polling station ho no ma. Ye de tuga and I say ye declare ye dena di ho no mo. Ama adansidie eyeden ebam. Kwame uti.
Meet you.
Enti say ye wo polling stations mako apem e wo Ghana. Apem no obia beda na bato no sunsunsanso adi abonudwa amra no kire se ye be ye copy na e atare eye notice board eso e wo no eye mra CI say 94 I guided 2016 elections any CI 127 I guided 2020 elections see ni na eye sade no say ye debate sade no betudwa na ye den ye wie no kwame media o tie one unia da kabre from man so say mo na mo ye lead advocates and I say lead team members of my friends election
decision time. Yeah.
Enti Chairman General ye be ya na na akase mo cardinal on be di ho agra eduru ni pompon so na opemu na akasa we yi ni ti tikese no de abeje
Teso peso kasi miti so no ana peso
no kan
o de to aso
about decision time na bibia strike if I wanted to tell me so then, I believe that I will not upset you if I say it
but of course you know
publicly
mo
ye commercial be or advert me na I mo kada metida mo kada ye ba Fourth Republic ya 7 elections
92, 96, 2000.
See where you got it wrong. It's a Fourth Republic. You start from 96.
There was an election in 92, quickly.
Yeah, but on Fourth Republic, that was transition to Fourth Republic. And that was conducted by INEC.
Not easy. Yeah, correct.
And see, just do a little editing.
Okay, wait a minute. Was there an election in 92?
Yes.
But it wasn't in the Fourth Republic. Because the Fourth Republic started 93. January.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
An election preceded.
Yes, it's just precision. I understand.
An election preceded the Fourth Republic coming into being.
Listen,
election management body was INEC.
The man has always looked for a reason to pin me down. He's got me.
Let me raise with you. I just
okay.
We are the base together.
Organization also research.
But on your mistake, Uncle Fupi.
Yeah.
Correct.
Quite a common place.
Yeah, but thanks.
I think even Parliament, why the mistake?
Yes, sir.
Education, civil education. Share 92 na
92 elections on comfort.
92 na and a referendum.
Yes, April.
Yes, 28 April 28. All institutions preceding the promulgation of the work of the Consultative Assembly are presumed to be the
part of
that
the Fourth Republic.
Yes. In effect,
with the EC that we know was created.
Their first election was 96.
Yes. See,
that's the Afarijan election.
Yes.
Now 92 was just Josiah Freewater.
There was an act of 1993.
This
it didn't start from those processes.
No, wait. This EC is a creature of law. Act 451.
1993.
Date of assent 6th July 1993. The INEC was not preserved, was not included in the institutions that were being preserved. Today may try the point we are making. INEC, Interim National Electoral Commission, is not the same as the Electoral Commission in law, in constitutional terms. And this EC will create under Act 451
1993.
Yes, we heard the exact
which flowed from the Constitution.
Yes. It is
the Electoral Commission.
The Constitution had to come into being
451
before you could create this EC. And that's exactly what happened.
But the coming into being of the Constitution marked the beginning of the Fourth Republic.
Yes, but the INEC ceased being operational, or it became what do you call it? There's a name for it. Mutane. There's a name for it. It died when we finished. We moved into the Fourth Republic. We had to create a new election management body, which is the Electoral Commission of Ghana today.
You mean the Electoral Commission?
I mean, this is a very simple thing. You have something to overwork.
No problem. Kavila,
Kwame.
Wrap up and then we'll move on.
Okay.
Somebody says, if Kabila says his grandfather is from Kwembe, my hometown, then I greet him Anshuma. Shafiq in Tamale.
How to do so?
Ayo. Tell Kabila also the real name is Mohammed, which has been corrupted to Mahama, Amadu, Ahmed, Mama.
Correct.
You okay? Thank you.
Interesting.
Very
interesting.
And even Mohammed, no spelling, no. When you are pronouncing it, how do we pronounce it? Nipa no for no sombra.
Oh, na kwame member knemba yo.
Obaba, Tobala.
Kwame. Okay, na me twaso.
David twaso.
It price me off.
Na Chairman General.
Yes.
Enti say
potential.
Process aya fa mu nyina ni. Na say obi mu media mo be capture na mo amaye mu independent friends saying calls and I say calling mo de betudwa ama ye nyina ye de akire despite group mo ye multimedia said you also ye EIB mesrel na me bobodin o rai state broadcaster no cry de ono de EC4 ye na straight ono wo ye. Any other media houses, internet portals, said the chairman of the NMC, your board I buffo or can or program as soon as say na a security briefing okay. Omushia now omuni dinkomo. Or can be say media no announce so certified results and I say there is not declare money be any one there is in akekana na obekita bom amana ayeden abewie jom person omo announce na yeden obi koka say obi ebetuma atnankran ha na from about 33,367 polling centers ayeni ni sisi yi ebe be kosoro kakra obetumi atnankran ha no asisem. It's not possible. I just say, Ebia, you say, you didn't say, you better, and I say, you better. But so be bit my ass, I didn't pa, and in this age and time, Kwame, it's just not possible.
Kweku, is the legal term you're looking for functus officio? The legal term you're looking for, is it functus officio?
It's something like that.
Okay, functus officio. So somebody sent it to me.
I think the person is right. That's what I was looking for.
Thank you very much. But somebody says, just a quick one here, says, a little humor. Farouk Intema says, when it comes to pronunciations, you can score Kweku Baku 0. When it comes to precision, score Kwame Sefa Kai 0. Summary, Munina Mabro Pepe. Farouk.
I accept the first and 10.
Right. Kwabra to aso.
Yeah, Chame, me move baby as hard in a free omutimu ayede eba. Say, obi etimi atna electoral commission ho aka say o sisa abamu. Na wonim. Ade bi on my ha me pa. Brother Mama akoya say ono nko na onam. Enti asem bia say de yayi say de opani ajekum kire mu ha no professor. Say asem bia nke say ahinkwa da eka bi on me say odi kro ana say oman hini bi ana say you know dibi ni nyina no ono oman hini kakraka no ono oka ni nyina menti ase anya bia na pamfo a woni omubu Ghana ministers omo wen wono ma kasama no ai na sese nkomo kasama no omo wen abi bia ono na okay
anya ono ne flag bearer
ono ne flag bearer ba kwa se de mi kan se mi no ono ma sabi wotie se free man pani dada na no na eba obusa won se na oye man pani no sa na okasa na nsem na dwene efa sansem no sa na ti ana me ka electoral commission ya president Mama Satan de me kan ne woni me ya adwene se yenya isi mani nya na dwuma na ye ha wo mododo wo ma na kasetia sabre na MPP fo bi nom ene de na asesa all of a sudden one backtrack. EC is capable of rigging elections? I'm sorry, sir. You are mistaken. Not the Tosubio, Chairman General. CDD report, Nameti Asiebi, Womo launch no. The CDD for a kaye and Ranya Miadom Yatonsa Fremi NCC for so I report. On findings. No cray woman say, when we find this, say NCC, the Anukra, a bigger, almost sample size, no issue, but then yeah, no crack. We find this, no, a more revealing in terms of a verdict for the incumbent on the issue of education. You mean you could campaign just on education alone and win. Because South Free SHS no obi a wakai 2010 population and housing census report analytical report me professor Kofi Awusabu Asare Nedano wakai analytical report no na wa CDD report na wa NCCDA o mu release in rana Chairman General
Kwamna Bonfe
make no mistake about it ade betumi aboa ye ama oman yi nsachaye aba na abroso aba pen e wo oman yi abakosemu e education na education ka kwa menkroma free nzema oyere na nkobe ye Ghana mampani anya education anka obi a ofri jinejine oyere be di minister anya disua kwame me Kwabra Bonfe junior me free kintampo kandige nano kwa yebi wonu MPP boys ba mo sombe kase o ni mi krum ya fi na mu krum no kandige ye fi ho alu pile baba yo kandige chabajena anamiti ayiwa fidie so anya di sha de ambie ma me papa kwa na me che
he's on one of ya he's on one of ya
favor no, but education is a difference maker.
Yes.
Obibiara, we can go into the discussions, content, and now NCC program, you have to make contributions. As I say, I've been content, curricula, the NSA, Kwame, the Faso, Ama, Yamu say, now Bafuni, didn't Kitahon, and just say, in India, Kakrano Niade. But say, yeah, no, and Nibraso, Sadia Mampani, Akufado, why I say, oh, ye, Kwame, BC, the name is Shadami, me pay by the National Forum.
Stop, Galam say,
Kwame. Once I don't go on air on the critical questions. This paper is dated Tuesday, April 4. Twice a week, to April 10, 2017. Chairman General, listen to this question. That's question number 5. Should we not first discuss, rather than the hasty restoration of teacher education allowances? This is a question Adanko asked. You know why? No, 2017.
Okay.
Teacher Trainees Association of Ghana, Madi General Secretary, that Omu invited me that year. Minister Makawo Afide so hand that say, now me feel say restoring teacher trainees allowances no, enka technically are you looking no, enke hunya because Omu a tertiary say no nyade. And now say about we say now yes have promise niti. Nothing could convince this government, especially Minian Napo, no education minister. Mini need the uncomo or say Kwabna president say Wanya Shebon there. SSA way. Oma restore training allowances. Thank you. Even the reason why you cancelled it, they are not able to explain it well. I'm telling you, Kwame. If you ask them, because me as general secretary, me sign memo with that time, Mrs. Elizabeth Adabo, I know director teacher education. That if teacher education colleges that time they were 38, if we were to be given tertiary status, we were ready to forego the allowances and take loans. My name James Kwabnabon for Junior. Not me used to phobia. Kwame. And so by way, or say washabo or person diso and pass with this, so I may have disagreed with them, but this is something they did. Now, so what's the sour agree what the okay 2016 about free SHS? Person be admitted. Now, what case a constitutional injunction? Constitutional injunction is a work Ghana had my young friend Yajuma. Who bet me I can't come? Nanya be as a namo yam pass it a namo cana. I didn't a man respond to say, oh, I didn't hear that. Until the homo can hear that. Rather, you sponsored adverts against free SHS. Chairman General, Bombay, if strict, precision. Yeah, correct me. They sponsored adverts against this policy called free SHS. Now, the Yanni say, free SHS, no, it was not a subject of discussion in Parliament for records to capture. For in their House of Record, Nane refer parliamentary hazard. It's a shame. Say, who BT retreater, and your ferry say, Obeje tum say, Yetinra. Makwame, and Nuna Mede call the last friend say allegation of your friend say ballot papers now my printing say almost say and bia se na broso dodo enti kwan a obi pese owie mu a besi na ye ne wo kasai Chairman General isi no amaye hunu enra release omo de bae the number of print houses are and as one more print a ballot papers no say omo nyina so ampampa me dem ye ready as a student of elections omo ye hu ba bia aba papers no ye print illegal ones na ye nyina ye mfa ya oh no minister I'm challenging them
what's it tuntuma wo
it's coming to one me na omo ni bibi sadia omo ka no you can say omo ka tra yes you betie no tra
more kind of try exactly 10 hours or 10 a.m. on a Wednesday morning, November 4, 2020. As I mentioned earlier, tomorrow, November 5, former national athlete Echo Adi turns 80. Happy 80th in advance to you. And you share your birthday with my beautiful daughter Fafa, who turns 22 tomorrow. To God be the glory. And to you, Mr. Fred Amugi, it's your birthday tomorrow as well. Wherever you are, I wish you well. As well as Fred Nyama, you all have a beautiful birthday. November 5, I became a father for the first time 22 years ago. Yeah, man.
One campaign you be a day and more twice been a year.
I'm more toys, baby.
Say, always say, I say, and talk on the floor and a track kakeka. MZC.
With the major answer. Dominic.
Yeah, John.
Any comments on this one? Because I know you want to do Agyapa.
Oh, how do you know that?
Now, parliamentary documents, equity. And make it a kita will be alishi. Meaning what?
Okay, Martin Americano.
Meboa.
Well, but yes, if I'm the way issue statement, a sort of a rebuttal to NDC full allegations. A press release is dated 3rd November 2020.
Yesterday.
Yes, and they are reacting to the NDC allegation. There is a certain secret increment in terms of the number of ballot boxes.
Ballot papers.
Come on. War print, war assembly press limited. Or the one who focus. Baby, I will pedal worker. There's something illegal is happening. What target location in Adama or assembly press. Ma'am, so because the Nancy war protested, so the assembly press can war printing.
Yeah.
Because of the CEO of the assembly press. I believe that they are only seeking to give meat to that bony conspiracy theory, by said, I would pray that won't read EC press statement, and I mean the NDC, because they are a major stakeholder for political life today.
I want you to do a little research for me if you can. And if anybody is listening, Nana Hesiodri says, as part of the concerns raised by the NDC, that the managing director of Assembly Press, David Asante, is a member of the NPP and also contested NPP primaries. Kwame, the former MD, Mr. Charles Agbava, in 2016 also contested primaries on the ticket of the NDC in Agotime, Ziopa. Why did the Free Anchor and NDC not raise the question they're raising today? Is it a case of hypocrisy and dishonesty? So somebody should do the research.
Yeah,
for me
it's
quick.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, it's a Ben Ite, I'm sure.
Ben Efson. Yeah. Ben, help me. Thank you.
Yeah. But maybe view it there. When we raise these serious issues, fortunately, the election management board will react.
Yeah.
And done so publicly. One also counted there or a standard practice for the commission to print, I'm quoting from the to print ballot papers in excess of 5% to cater for instances such as spoiled ballots. This has been the practice since 1992, and the present commission has not changed this policy. And this full opposition on this assertion is what? Do they agree with this assertion or not?
Or not.
Second one, Kwame, was it is important to note that since 1992, ballot papers for both the presidential and parliamentary elections are printed in booklets of 10, 25, 50, and 100 for all polling stations.
Yeah.
Do they agree with this or not? They should just be specific. Since your countdown, we are very close.
About 30 something days to the election.
This is not the time.
They won't respond to this. They won't.
And they have experienced election
persons, individuals,
experience
who are not speaking.
The accusation of not providing political parties with serial numbers. The EC's response is this: the commission has never provided the political parties with serial numbers of ballot papers. The commission cannot generate the serial numbers of all 17 million plus ballot papers. True or false? NDC, what is their position on this?
And what is the history?
Yes, that's why I said they have experienced election persons there, very experienced. You may not like them or their views, but that doesn't take away the fact that
their experience,
their experience based on their history.
Both one chairman and one general secretary.
Yes, I agree. The second has been the practice. Serial numbers are generated by the printing houses and are provided to both the commission and the parties after each batch of printing is completed. True or false? What has been the precedent since we began our election history? They should come out and tell us. Then Kwame, what's the other one? The packaged bagged ballots are sealed by both the electoral commission and political parties. Indeed, each political party fixes their party seals on the packaged ballot papers. The political parties take a record of all serial numbers of each packaged ballot. The packing of the ballots is undertaken in the presence of all the agents of the political parties. True or false?
Kwame alluded to the same things earlier.
And I repeated that.
Yes. Because look, we're a big party full of experienced election persons. I repeat.
Yeah.
We name the history of your elections, so and the architecture and everything that comes with it. They know it.
And their party was created as an election machine.
Well,
Vincent Assise.
that's a bit of a diversion.
I didn't bring the other way. I didn't bring the other way.
Who says he doesn't need that
Kwame, I know another one. I say it is well known that the Assembly Press is a state institution which at any point in time is headed by appointees of an incumbent government. It is also a well-known fact that the Assembly Press headed by appointees of the NDC printed the 1992, 96, 2000, 2012 and 2016 ballot papers. True or false? Do they know? Can they challenge these details here? And if it was true that during these periods, appointees, incumbents, appointees were head the Assembly Press. Now Assembly Press took part in the printing. One were saints, were Yankopon Inti, I don't know, there was no cause for alarm, alarm for cause.
Yeah.
Then they make this point. In spite of who has the Assembly Press, the effective monitoring and participation by the political parties and security agencies in the Commission's printing processes makes it impossible for any printing house, be it state-owned or private, to manipulate and compromise the printing process. Do they have anything contrary to this? Let them be bold and put it out there. In reaction to this November 3rd press release from the EC, the response shouldn't be that of silence. Silence will not be golden in this contest.
Maybe silence will be an admission.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I don't know. The recurrent nature of the allegations, the conspiracy theories and things, it didn't boom as part of the countdown to the election now. Why would you not believe or accept Kwamna Kabila war conclusions there? Crybaby ahead of time defeat. I mean, why wouldn't you accept it? But whatever it is, they should respond to the EC press statement dated November 3rd, 2020. To be honest with you, mean time in comprehensive scrutiny. And I have to be honest because of left, right, center. In fact, the Chinakra make a coded location. I will be out of the Accra jurisdiction for almost 5-6 days. Until time may go through some of them. But one thing that struck me, and I think Mihudami paper and other papers publishing, there some very high level of confidence in the EC.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, over 68%.
Yes, I thought was significant. It isn't
and
as
then
if
in
it's
the
the first
EC
time.
itself, there was a high rate of 86. They were third after
68 was Jean
Mensa. They were third after Ghana Armed Forces, Police, and then the Electoral Commission.
Yes,
Confidence.
It may not be the very first time.
Did you say the Ghana Armed Forces?
Ghana Armed Forces will not be first.
Thank you.
No.
Yeah, that's it.
But my contribution, I was there, which Professor H. Kwesi Prempeh, I mean, sense sort of agree with me. It might be fear.
It is not fear.
I don't think he
Yes, wrong.
Nah, it is just the exhibition of discipline and professionalism.
I'm not sure he meant that.
It's just exhibition of discipline and professionalism.
I made that observation.
Okay.
I made that observation. And then
No, it's not fear.
my professor Kwesi Jonah said, because they are excluded,
So
what happens there we don't see.
So your fear, it could rather lead to
something negative.
No, yes.
No.
Fear.
So
First of all, pulling the chair. No, chair on your one contract TV in the radio. No, what can they give an answer? It was between our Nimpaotic.
But the psyche is there.
Yeah, but
no,
to be fair,
after 20 something.
To be fair, this is the second time they are leading that
democratic consolidation process. the fear element no what down.
Oh, just say that,
no, I haven't said it's non-existent.
I'm out for one that so the fool is Sikroma or Marty.
That's fear is not confidence, it's not trust. I don't see how fear who have fear will generate confidence and trust.
No, I said
that's part of it.
Let me say something the lead researcher said.
Yes.
You see, the question was about who you trust to bring about or maintain the sanity of the process. And when it comes to law and order, it is about enforcement.
So it's trust.
In trusting, yes, it's about the confidence and the trust. Yeah. So
anyway, we can agree to disagree on this.
It is just the sense of discipline
in the military,
professionalism,
and it inspires
and patriotism, which inspires confidence and trust.
I believe
so. Ghana Armed Forces is number one. Oh, they are not angels. We haven't said the Ghana Armed Forces as angels.
No, at all.
All we're saying is that the way is the number one criteria: confidence, discipline, patriotism, selflessness.
Exactly. It's also
last word.
Yeah.
But back to the EC printing.
Yeah.
And this IBR war agents be sure that because of the experience they have, war agents no so work this printing facilities will be very experienced. Imagine, and I want that to make a safe assumption, but perhaps work that.
No, possible.
Possible. I'm not. The Biama was sleeping tablets. Perhaps they should motivate their agents and educate them well. But I assume safely that they have very experienced party agents. Kwame. I rest my case.
Abdul Malik Kwekubaku, thank you very much. Tell Kweku he's making a good point about the NDC's deliberate effort to not only attack the EC, but today the English is too much. Gusty man. Kwame, NDC is just mirroring what they did covertly with their preferred electoral commission. Everyone Zams fears their knife. Okay, Kwame, ask Dan Kweku Yeboah whether it's fear or not when it comes to the first position of the military, and stop being a judge in your own court. Felix in Adabraka, yeah, I'm biased, I know, but as for this one, I'm going CD in a kai. Is former President Mahama not aware of the National Service Act, which enjoins all graduates of tertiary institutions to do a mandatory 1-year national service? Why is he promising such graduates exemption from national service? Please, Joe Agape Ablekuma. Kwame Sefakai and his unalloyed bias for the Ghana Armed Forces can be likened to the Agama lizard and press ups, or better still to Bob Marley and Igbo. Say Obama Pokwasi Igbo.
Say Obama say any birthday.
And then I would say Obama happy birthday. Yeah, I have a bias. At least I'm honest enough to admit that I have a bias.
Gama lizard and press up.
Gama lizard and press up. So Walanyo Nakwetia says John Mahama is only criticizing the EC baselessly. Thankfully, the CDD survey shows Ghanaians have a belief in the EC to conduct a free and fair election. And then thank you for playing the voice of Honorable Boniface once again. Don't stop playing the voice. I wish all politicians would do same by playing the sound bite for their supporters. Edward Ejiri, captain inside Takrade. And then okay, captain, I read yours. And let's move on to others. Tell Kabila I'm monitoring his statements of late, and in my capacity as chairman of the Patriotic Intellectuals Ghana, I endorse his stance as a nationalist and statesman, an unofficial member of PI waiting to become a consultant of same. Fantastic presentation. Sasa sends that one to you, Kabila.
From Takrade.
Yeah.
I government appointee on the TTE board.
And then let's see. Okay. I'm going to move on to Kwame very shortly to do the final round. and we'll see how it goes. This one says, Kwame, tell them the bias is important. Why? We love you. Mwah, mwah. This from a lady officer. Okay, nice. I'm getting some kisses from the armed forces. KSK, in my opinion, John Dramani Mahama is not being fair to the EC because of his utterances. He must know that we are not in normal times, and for the EC to register over 17 million voters is an achievement. I believe we should all support the EC to do a good job, but the fact still remains that Nado will win convincingly. Eric Amponsa Boateng, tax expert, sends that one. Candidate Mahama and his enablers' agenda to discredit the EC has failed monumentally. He should throw in the towel. Samuel Brian Boabeng sends that one in. And then tell Kabila, having worked with 48 engineers for 2 years, you will look sharp. Daniel from Teshi, so you look sharp.
You have to look sharp.
Only on we are say the difference.
Madam, what look at her?
There will see Daniel from Teshi.
Daniel, okay.
I completely agree with Kabila on NPP winning on free SHS only. I'm an electoral area coordinator for the NPP, and currently we are doing retail campaigning. As a leader of my electoral area campaign team, my campaign emphasis on free SHS. Not a single home we've entered that people didn't agree with the free SHS policy and its influence. Kwame J. Asante Poncho in Bubeashi. And those sending messages about my daughter's birthday, especially the men. I'm a very open-minded person. Start filing up and bring money. Just bring money. Make we see who way money inside trunk. Somebody's asking, are you selling your daughter? Nonsense. How can I sell her? I'm just saying that bring money. What? Hey, keep quiet today. JC Bwaku says maybe President John Mahama is talking too much. Does he have anything for Ghanaians? Let's reject the NDC. JC Bwaku in Mamprobi sends that one in. And then Ken Wood in Takrady says, it's the responsibility of all political parties and their leaders to promote the respect of the Electoral Commission. The world accords highest respect to our EC. Let's be proud. Ken Wood in Takrady sent that one. And then tell Kweku Baku is 2020, not 2020.
2020 onye 2020 no maybe I know to know maybe
I say if yes nice ni I let
Ejadam in a nyan meme. There's the opposition leader John Mahama and his NDC are bent on making monsters of the EC chairperson and deputy commissioners who have to have sufficient grounds to make a strong case for the EC to jettison the compilation of a register. We've gone past that, man. We've compiled. We're moving on. So, Ejadam, thank you. And 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, Kwame, what's it? Ekwotu Nyumbio. What Asim Fusuma vice president? About 5 people have sent me messages. There was a blasting me my vice president now.
Peace FM.
And you know the one here in the bar or like a producer.
Bombay produce one. Nasikano
way.
Oh goodness.
What's a Kwame now sang a song for V Baumiat Asimfosu. Tell him to repeat it. Well, he says honestly
the response of the Ghanaian people. I am happy that I was part of this government and the work the government has been able to do. I mean, no, not at all. A lot still remains to be done, but Kwame Shapa Bema Omampain that NDC Bemwanya quick share Kwan to cry when you room Nashe Kufado bold, courageous. Kwame Shane about the human being. Human being, the human being at the center of all his policies. So ye Kwajuma, Shamoria. Kokrokoo, Kwame. Intenda yansor the Obayan Shishaya. Obotumanya guaranteed price. There, Kokrokoo no book of Fumo, Okoslo. There's a living income differential. I go trade them, cocoa farmers. Now, I say, share Kwame. Cocoa is to him as a country. As to him, say, share in the next few days. I'll be doing there. Or your pension scheme for cocoa farmers. The human being is always the paramount consideration in all his policies. Sooner or you're compassionate, he is empathetic. Agyapa, Obama, a man from Hong Kong, the response is not surprising. The response is not surprising. Parliament, Mokado Ajungo. Ajungo, if you are now, Obeti Muslim. All you were able to do in there, all your Sikena Union, Kwame, it's our Kwaka Bass Brandon, it's our quarter top where you will find a Wangasa, portrait, and a man paying a who call more than a white, not that boss bass, Wabra, the Mazi, or Yen Shira more mine, or the Ghana, you ban young Faso, Ekufadi says no. Oh yes, you can, Mamma. There, if you be a young for so. Said the honor to Chia, Kwame, sir, a wafana, a education number 5, Chachafu at the Vice Center. A mangasana me a chaching, it never happened there. Kwame, what they called the academic intervention fund. What you are, what the matter, chafu, what you are, non-teaching staff. Necessary for the professional development fund. So what every teacher, in order for you to develop your professional career, every teacher every year. Now, sir, a quarter of benefits the month for senior bar. The month for senior bar. I cannot see how Obia the Agyapa sikaka kaya de mo at the end of every month. No can I say abatuna ya kwa koton so obobonpo se na man payin no reading so obobonpo why you can't do obochum there why you share there or university student another tertiary student water light bill water water bill Yamina dom on the Kufado Kwame light bill water bill next academy is going to be a thing of the past. When everywhere you turn, you ask yourself, what will at all motivate a Ghanaian to go to the polls on 7 December and go and cast a ballot for former President Mama and the NDC? What will motivate a Ghanaian to do that? Now, you're the man on another. Yes, maybe another. Or send the Kwame to the stand ma Yaba
Minister
Yaba Chucha government revenues have been badly affected. To be there in order to be able to overcome the pandemic. Yes, I couldn't be informed into free. If you can some Kwame for the last 9 months or so up to December. Maybe I pray for the lifeline crime going into 2021 2022. Or Baba ya buying the policy there. Lifeline crime won't touch it. I am my bank for you also here. It's a bella look to them for so. Who come about Haro? Marriage training my pay it's a big Kwame, it's a big Bam Katamopua. It's the high says Mr. Kufad Mayor Denny. The Kufad Mayor Denny. The response on the ground, Kwame, for me is not surprising because the Ghanaian people indeed have seen what Akufo-Addo has been able to do 3 years, 10 months. Yeah, to me, I'm quite a down. Yeah, that could be. Mamma made Japan some page. Yeah, Japan. Some questions arise. Maybe some more Kabila. The parliament of our country is a sovereign parliament. I don't know how the act that sets up the office of the special prosecutor, how it's been couched. The sovereign parliament.
On your sovereign parliament.
I'm not too sure about that.
Our parliament our parliament is not sovereign in the sense that they can be stopped when they are embarking on a path suspected to be contravening the constitution.
Oh,
sovereignty resides in the people.
In the people.
That's what the
not in
Constitution.
but it is the people. The people is the people's sovereignty, which has been.
Yeah, but I think it's difficult to be a bit complicated with a parliament sovereign or sovereign parliament. I'm sure lawyer B.
Well, that your understanding of that is that it is on its own and able to do what it deems proper and right.
Yes, but new decisions are subject to judicial review. You know that.
Yeah,
you cannot tell them how to work.
Yes,
they
are masters of
conduct
their own rules. Their own rules. Yes, but Kokrokoo.
Make your stretch.
Yes,
but the word sovereign can.
Okay, we can delete it. Okay, fine. It's the point I have been making. I've been asking myself. Now, Obedema and Brashebugwa, as an arm of government. Mbrekunina yezribo mine. O man kwade ogina na nado. Baye no ho hihye mokwa obofodo a obayi ho adwuma. Now then there's now a gatekeeper. Me ekwan OSP ne acting oti. Because now he has become a gatekeeper. What it means is that now anything that Parliament does, that in his assessment, he feels that there must be a certain corruption risk assessment or corruption assessment. All he does is that, hey, clerk to Parliament, hey, one from the man from there. And so it's something that has been agitating my mind. Man says, what are we drifting towards? Which point are we now? Now, and yet America on the account there. In them are able to be here to grow our governance system, for which part is the corruption and its related issues. OSP Abobaden Morian Mendintum.
Menka Bakumienu Teu Nete, according to the chairman of the Finance Committee, Parliament, Dr. Mark Esibe Yeboah, also Amidu's work was sloppy. He acted like a social commentator, and that to a large extent, in some Nokani uninformed, or denche or Yenshimunukwechi into one yarding. These are some of the comments.
Just to add up, he gave a reason.
Yes.
He said Matnamidu never spoke to the committee.
To the committee and its members.
And interpreted documents the way he wanted.
And not say,
I'll speak.
even though the president has said they should take a second look at it, the parliament cannot just get up and just take a second look unless the president has the intention of resubmitting some additional information for review, and not based on his instruction on the corruption risk assessment put together by Special Prosecutor Martin Amidu.
Yeah.
And I picked this from myjoyonline.com.
Okay.
And he says that after reading the report, it became clear to him, or says Yeboah, that Martin Amidu was on a fishing expedition. Kwekubak, one of his favorite expressions.
I agree.
And then he says, I still insist. I still insist that Martin Amidu should not be taken seriously because he's done a sloppy job.
Why? Relative to this matter?
Relative to this matter, the Agyapa. Agyapa near discussed.
Seriously, not as a person and as an office.
In the meantime, the finance minister has denied all the allegations and insists that the mechanisms surrounding the deal were transparent. And the minority in parliament says they feel vindicated by the report of the special prosecutor and have called for a complete withdrawal. Complete withdrawal. Yeah, F.A.
Dr. Esibe Yeboah,
yeah.
Today. OSP, maybe in the next few days or so, he may write and say he should not be patronizing him. Because and then he insists on the independence of his office. I'm sure if he was arguing on this point,
and
he will say that.
And he also says, my 64-page report must be taken seriously to make corruption a high-risk venture in Ghana.
That's Amidu.
Martin Amidu, yeah.
That's right.
What you do?
Mr. Mayor, sure there. Matame to so respond to Dr. Sibe Abua. Abakacha na your number chum. A cram for the major. As I mentioned. And see, let's grant him that. But apart from that difficulty, the attitude of the president, that yes, I congratulate you all, I commend you on your corruption risk assessment and all of that. I've seen that. Now look, the next thing is that proceed, Mr. Minister, to Parliament. They are able to what to do. On Chade, President Oji Mawai to me to no, but it is all part of growing our governance system, and also the steps we need to take as a country. Yabama oye katashe ne drum obokofum na Kwame
na
measure the report proper matramidu oye ya now what ya jado there Imara Corporate Finance Limited nwa were transaction advisors. Letter Ministry of Finance is a call or Public Procurement Authority ho and now your part. But I admit today Imara earlier and the unsolicited request daba. Now no point there on them there. In 1 year part of the leternity, they were banded through the back door. It's now what then Casanonian. And a mortuary video saying there. Public Procurement Authority. One criteria what at the bar Finance Ministry approving of the request to go ahead with the procurement of the transaction advisors. There was no clause of any Ghanaian counterpart, another Ghanaian broker company. The Finance Ministry was smuggled whatever show. These are the two main things. Then the other thing, only the Deputy Finance Minister Oyituma or the sign or your agreement. As I mentioned, he made yes. So, Kwame, the IPO proper, the structure and the management of the deal proper, that is the Agyapa deal proper. Me who don't come handsome. Another the man can so come handsome over baby one fan chap. But the gamut of all that he did was largely based on how the transaction advisors were procured and other service providers. Ono no better there or opaque. A quantum maybe also data bank financial services are where local partners are overcoming a certain conflict of interest, and it was intended to somehow bring a certain personal interest to one, the finance minister, and then another lady, the Bibi Ashley, Victoria Ashley, that she used to be at Data Bank. Necessarily, she is at the Ministry of Finance. I mean, no, did you do? No, chasse. And some, I can say, smarts of greed. I can say, and all of it also based on subjective analysis and understanding. This will lead to the country leaking of the public file. Opinions. Come in. More can we opinions? Are you there? Certain strict proof. Me lawyer. Me. Now so lawyers is me there. Answer na a very solid conclusion on any matter. Then you have subjected it to the test of proof. These are all things which were or are lacking, and yet he proceeds to talk about greed. I wonder in this matter where we haven't had you put to me and you ask me questions, and then you then get to the establishment. You establish clearly there. My intent was for me to have some benefits. All of these things are missing because all you did was to take the documents and you put the pieces together, you look through, and then you form your opinion, and then you come to the decision there. It was on the basis of greed. Kwame, to a very large extent, I agree with Dr. Asibeyebua. There, more your personal opinion and all of that. Kwame, my understanding of assessment. Assessment. Are you there? Well, this holds the potential. You leave it there. That it's likely this might, because you are assessing. But when you move from the benefit of the doubt, you move from the benefit of the doubt, never solid conclusion. Kwame then becomes something else. Now, Mamosha, my minister, for example, the case of the Deputy Finance Minister, the Public Financial Management Act. Kwame, it's clearly stated in there. The minister would appoint an officer either at the level of directorship or above. Minister would how that becomes the deputy minister committing the country to certain financial arrangement when indeed it is rather the chief director, no, the Public Financial Management Act. In fact, that act more or less places the minister at the center. And it be also that Victoria actually also just on the basis there. Oh yeah, an officer at the ministry. So you don't go through any proper I put it to you for you to answer type of thing to establish. Online there because she used to be at data bank. Now she's at the ministry. And so once she has moved from the data bank to the ministry, and it is the ministry that is at the center of this, it's likely a certain conflict of interest there. But what I see in this is a certain level of prejudice. A certain level of prejudice there, Kwame. That we know that Oforiata owns data bank, and that anything that the country is committing to, and then he as a minister, then data bank comes in, then something fishy might have taken place. A certain level of prejudice. But otherwise, first and foremost, Papa 2010 was said, and now resigning as executive chairman. 2014. And also resigning from the boards of Data Bank Financial Services, and straddling across governments from President Rawlings. Now, it's because they have the expertise. This is their area. Ejuma oya dam brokerage na nika kawo investment, they are the leading bank. They say they are not a bank. They are one year conventional bank.
They find a financial institution.
Exactly. So they have the expertise. Woye Ejuma ma President Rawlings. Woye Ejuma ma President Kufuor. Woye Ejuma ma even Mahama.
No mama.
I'm from Sabongo Camilo. No. It's Mahama. Oh, yeah, Mahama. Oh, no, what to Camila don't mention here. You was here. Kwame, I find it weird and queer. There, so if they have the expertise. Now, I want to why you do an abwa or mana. He becomes a finance minister, so they are stopped from doing that. And again, our picture there, it is all captured in the arrangement how data bank was going to be paid,
and how Kwame Duncan is about to wrap up.
Was going to be paid. And see, that also gives cause for suspicion. The finance minister Chechim, or Chechim there, the leader agency, and one Nadinia, she wants him only in marathon. Into marathon at any point in time, Obia when you're in the services in marathon football crowd, services. And if you have a lot coming on board, you cannot structure how payment is even going to be done.
I'm taking my time now.
You come my land.
I'm say IKJC, the revered teacher, also Chairman General. I would say, I would say, also good morning, Chairman General. One of the greatest strengths of Mr. Malik Kokrokoo Bako is that he easily takes all those criticisms of his pronunciation in his stride. Good morning to your panel. A very special good morning to my V-mate, the Honorable Regional Minister. Signed, IKJC.
I tell you, no righteousness is superb.
So, let's see if I have any other one here before I hop off. May you wait for me? I'm balancing. I am balancing as I move on. Into your time, me text messages back. On a very light note, please tell my senior Kwame Duncan that, quote, his linguistic dribbling skills and alacrity is causing further torrential hostilities in the camp of the opposition. Kudos on his submission. Kojo Duncan. Wow, namesake. I'll say I should tell his senior Kwame Duncan that his linguistic dribbling skills and alacrity is causing further torrential hostilities in the camp of the opposition. Kudos on his submission, Kojo Duncan. And then okay, we read Ken Wood already, so I guess I can go to James Asin Kwabena, also known as Obomfem. This one says, tell Kwame Duncan I will produce him, especially the breast care song Enufu. Psychologist Yosin says that one in. Somebody says, how do you pronounce your name? Okay, so my name is Kwame Sefa Kai. Jamie,
one Chairman General.
Yeah, Kwame. Because of Sefa is ever, Sefa is Akan.
Okay.
And Akan is, because Akan is widely spoken.
Okay.
Everybody says Sefa, but I don't mind. Sefa.
Okay.
Your soul is at peace. God is peace. Sefa.
Your soul is at peace.
God is peace. Every se is God, refers to God, refers to your soul. So Selam. God loves me. Sena, God gave to me. Sedinam, God chose for me. Seiram, God has blessed me. Sefa, God is peace, or your soul is at peace. It is Sebia. Yeah, Seto, Nyamedia. Seto wu, Nyamedin Broso.
Semefa,
Nyankupo Nimuna Asumgewo.
Oh, great.
Set Nina.
One Chairman General.
James Kwabena Bonfe.
Kwame.
Yes,
Makai Special Prosecutor's Office report. Measure free, baby. I'm sure say Bombay will still not agree with me. May that office, the creation of that office, I still have a problem with it.
Oh, not
yeah, you see, and more will come. That office, I have a problem with it. But let's proceed. Kwame.
Yeah.
You see, that office, the creation of that office was an amendment of Article 88, which is an entrenched provision. The Constitution is clear. on how an entrenched provision should be amended.
Matters you
it wasn't followed.
Matters you feel strongly about, you don't delay in going to court.
Yes, but back to court, you know, after that, so I mean, but sometimes strategy. Minister,
but you are helping.
Yeah, sure. So I let's see. But I've done an academic paper on that. Kwame, wow, my kind report, no. And I'm sorry. I'm saying Nipa commenting on it be no. And consider say Papa no or you're very crafty in or you so worse Emma won't mean say waka simbias subia. Enti sa issue say a conflict of interest he doesn't state them in fact. And I say obo bi kwa do say onipa na say okay can someone said the minister na kan say Kwame una kan the appropriate word I may use fishing. Now I want to state this, Chairman General. The report is the opinion of the Special Prosecutor's Office. It doesn't constitute a determination of a court of competent jurisdiction. Kwame.
Yeah.
Now the risk assessment on one kasa kan on the report mu say yen consider say any investigation away. And the report falls short of making any recommendation say Obi is guilty of wrongdoing. And yen fanon from rakwan so on kasa asem no baby our report no. Now no mom nhwehwemu away. Now so o risk assessment now. Asama minister kan me ne adwen pa ne say ni opinions and I say na dwen kire no okay come no do so dodo obi a person or mischievous bia no efa obeka say the opa kire nie hwe Imara any data bank linky it has nothing to do with government.
So person just a finance minister,
but you see that's the problem. Finance minister, the point is that is data bank an institution?
Yes it is.
Because Kenoforiata and established data bank in T. Bibia data bank be impro sebi minister nya Nisa. So you are going to bring Kenoforiata's name to link to a present activity of data bank? Let's be fair.
Ebia no person just a conflict of interest.
Why didn't he say so? That's my worry with him. He cast insinuations without being exact. I'm sure the person will achieve no achieve we.
Na say on the FIFA for Rob.
Yeah,
the government official one na be.
Yeah, most needless, unwarranted, unnecessary.
On the pen we try.
It is not necessary. It wasn't necessary in this report.
I was wondering where government official went.
How he came in and talking about election year, election season, and into was suspended investigations.
But you see, I find something pretty interesting. I say because of election, on question John Mahama
in the report.
So what if John Mahama won the election?
Yes.
Then what?
Then obey. You see, commenting me, but you see, it comes to the nature of that office itself.
Oh, master.
Oh, please, I mean, this is my argument. Let me proceed. I'm sure Bombay does not agree with me on this, but this is my view. Yes, this is my view. I'm premising my argument on a constitutional injunction.
But that's not what is on the table.
That's what. Oh. Oh dear, Mami, I'm not discussing that in detail, Minister. I will not say me one conflict, Minister. So me, to be honest with you, the special prosecutor's work, I have question marks, and make no mistake about it. Say, if you don't say special prosecutor President Akufo-Addo down another Akufo-Addo na appointing inti or ye juma jobeye bia no President Akufo-Addo say osom kwagye I want to kan hu bibia. The report itself says say me anyintum say assessment no ye no opinions na assembly one more kan Kwame me bia one mo say me kan one mo kakra oko page 11 na Kwame. In the first place, the involvement of Imara Corporate Finance Limited of South Africa in the mandate agreement as approved by the Public Procurement Authority made the mandate agreement an international business or economic transaction needing approval from Parliament under Article 1815 Clause 5, which was never sought or given. This is his opinion. This is his view. Come on, guys, STX housing deal. On the Parliament, or more discussing the manner in which it was laid before Parliament, medical Supreme Court.
Yeah.
It was rendered moot. Ama withdraw bill eventually. MPs been dragging me before privileges committee but I'm also about so privileges committee no. Minister, a special prosecutor, not doing say, as I say, and Parliament. Nipa owo to me so kase saade no necessary ba Parliament ama Parliament is the Supreme Court. Kwame Arameboa about interpretation of provisions of the Constitution. The only body mandated to do that the Supreme Court of the land. Yes, indeed, Mr. Matnamidu, with the greatest respect to him, no, well, expressing your opinion. In some of their court, Bebre, and then you know, wedding kunim, if it's one my Supreme Court, Waboguda. And how do you prove say way in this matter? Sasen we be a Supreme Court ebe succeed and as be failing. Chairman General, me say Agyapa deal we won sansem no. There how many say minority for no suban awo mu de na di. Me na kakra. When you say they participated in the discussion on this matter, parliamentary captured in parliamentary hazard. One more year as if say they've never discussed this matter. The third point I want to make, is it true that President Akufo-Addo has referred the say Agyapa did Nsanko Parliament?
Yes,
no, has he said that? No. The statement said that and on that say, let me read it. The issue here no say the period may not be appropriate for an appropriate discussion around it.
Read it.
Sorry, Kwame.
What time now, Suntia? Cameraman.
Soft copy. No, I don't know.
Kwame, are you telling me? You're talking about soft copy. Apart from say, Wabakacho say, soft copy, Kwame, the fatigue you go through.
Bro.
Hard copy.
Even with soft copy, Kwame, me try to never. My hand now, I jump.
Why jump, baby?
Me load daba.
No, boy, Kwame. But the statement
the statement is here.
Okay, time. No, the conclusion. No, the conclusion. The insinuation there. Why refer my Parliament back? No.
Okay.
I was close to it. I am close to it. Kwame, thanks for indulging me. Well,
you sound quite condescending at this point. And let me just tell you about Dafen Finance before we come back and Kabila wraps up. What's the state of it? Dafen Finance is here to ease your financial burden, whether you're seeking education, building your business, or saving towards retirement. Remember, plan investment, fixed deposit, call account. Call Dafen Finance on 055-822-9858. That is 055-822-9858. You'd find Dafen Finance adjacent the Tessan or Baptist Church on the Circle in Swan Road. Dafen Finance, the preferred finance house.
Peace FM.
Kwame,
finally. Yeah. No, thanks to the almighty Bombay documents man. Kwame, the last paragraph. President Akufo-Addo wonders whether in the current, understandably highly charged political atmosphere in the country, debate on the matter should take place before the elections, full stop. It is his view that the national interest would be better served for the parliamentary proceedings on this matter to take place either after the elections or in the next parliament, there would be a greater chance of achieving a greater national consensus on this important issue.
And so whatever it is, it will land in parliament. That's what it is.
Come on. So this is the view
after the election or the next parliament.
But you see, what would parliament be considering?
That's another
good
question.
So anybody who then comes to a conclusion that the president has referred Agyapa deal back to parliament, it's not making an accurate statement based on this statement issued by the director of communication at the presidency. Come in my view, okay? From the statement made by the chairman of the finance committee, stage a woman bedru any risk assessment matnami do so the risk assessment nankasa no yen subjected to proper scrutiny. Now what is he actually saying? Is he charging or alleging an offense against anybody? The deputy finance minister Professor
Charles Edouard,
yes, was stonewalling one more investigation. In another breath, or say the finance ministry was very cooperative. Did you see that part? Which is which?
Which is which?
I mean, we no Mr. Midi no Mesre no Makawi. Dear Obenya. They were NDC former no musi ye or more 2020. President Akufo-Addo is likely to set another record by being the first president seeking re-election to increase his percentage score in the second term instead of declining.
That's what has already happened.
Coming my way.
Chairman General, ask Kokrokoo Baku for me. He was very excited when Martin Amidu was appointed special prosecutor. Is he impressed with his work so far? K in Kokomlemle. And then this one says, special greetings to the Central Regional Minister. I love the way he spoke last week at the nation building the school. Please tell him I miss Donkey Commission and Pacho kind of just once. Some people are going around, or me scammers, or me azanform, say they are collecting information on Gold Coast security customers to help them redeem their savings at a fee. And Pacho enyanokre say usika ekupie Gold Coast security and I say Black Shield. Now encrophobia the note be letter be abna say I send a message say utue bibi mo momju ombeju sika mo mpacho eye azan enye nokre enjiomundi mpamcho obi ama mesu engbegu masum so obi akoye no bukata maka kire maka chem to obi aba ma monfa musika mano if I'm a mpene kwa omba se ombetimi aju sika ma our Gold Coast securities but so far I mean the one who be yet, but there's a document that has been sent to me and I pay na me when do be so I send me message CC Adore Ken in Kofobi nam omodi ora Freddie Blade, national chairman of MPP Dinkra Akaho say onim hubi say utua omuchiama ombeji 2% commission.
What's ma
intimpamcho
what's ma
a copy as in
Blade needs in number
pacho yes company your friend PBay and form authority to accept direct debit of my Gold Coast stroke Black Shield account enti obia ansha no so obia ba nas was say ya mayo just pamucho mamon here Abdul Malik Yampong
Ojam
Malik
inima
catch him
ibi send no text be there obi said how I feel about John
about Martin Amidu. Yes,
well there no work nyadama.
Yeah,
yes. Look, I've known Martin, I'm sure he's getting to about 45 years. He's a friend. Indeed, a friend who comrade.
Okay.
And we talk quite often. I like him. I admire his sense of drive, courage of conviction. And Tredo are perfect. Today me try many perfect. But me penasam.
Okay.
And I was happy they were appointing a special prosecutor. I was very happy.
Special Prosecutor.
and also very supportive of the creation of that office. And Kabila is right. Many know what differences on how it was done. Perhaps he should take his time, go through the Hansard, how that thing was crafted, because all the debates we were making were made before the thing went to Parliament. And even in Parliament, same points now Kabila raising were raised. Interestingly, at the end of the day, both sides of the political divide in Parliament worked together, built a consensus, and crafted this office into law. Indeed, the minority side, it take what time they stayed in Hansard, they contributed more in terms of the amendment processes.
True.
To arrive at the creature that we have. This point about the Attorney General and the entrenched, is it Article 88?
88,
yes. And all those things were discussed thoroughly, and they found a way and engineered the creation of the Office of the Special Prosecutor.
Maneuver to breach. Oh, Massa.
Yeah, those are your words.
Yeah, they're my words. Yes.
It was legal engineering.
You are integrity of Parliament.
There was legal.
They will call you.
There was
legal engineering.
Legal engineering.
My authority is Justice J.N.K.
Very
Taylor.
crafty and very smart. At the end of the day, I think this law, that is at 959, if it's subjected to litigation in terms of determination of its constitutionality or otherwise at the Supreme Court, it will pass the test of judicial scrutiny. That's my view.
I hold a different view.
Yeah, but
proceed,
that's why
yes.
when referencing the Supreme Court, I mean, I will your opinions.
Yes,
and that's what I've expressed.
Absolutely.
But I knew there at the end of the day, there's an institutional saying still you feel that they are unconstitutional. So far be and and I'm surprised you Kabila you haven't been there. Because you have that track record.
You going to court.
I want that track record. And see, why if you will choose radio to continue this agitation and if you like litigation outside the appropriate forum continuously. But I tell you, I'm in full support in principle of the creation of that office. And I think it. What is Airbus doing here?
Concentrate on your program. I'm monitoring something.
In terms of performance of the office, some weeks ago I made a critical observation on the performance of that on Newsfile. I highlighted the negatives and thought that we needed to deal with those things, especially that office and the person who heads that office, to build confidence and trust in the office. May express a certain level of disappointment in terms of the balance sheet. Me kind publicly, in spite of the fact that I am a me baha the following Wednesday. Me be a similar commentary. Indeed, me read a program not frame because apparently a website did a story on what I had said. There were a few inaccuracies, but he called me. We had a friendly chat and explained things to him. Also, man, the side of the story where his challenges and difficulties are, some of which I thought had been resolved. So we have perfect relationship, and I'm happy that this office has come into being. I'm also happy that only the first person who are appointing. Me can't them although changing in the office should tame him in terms of the public or transition because that office is a delicate and critical one. To a large extent, we keep to that. Of course, a lot of the epistles on the book, I thought whilst he was entitled to make a point because I don't know a kid, no a part of PNDC and DC history, which I understood, perhaps there was an overkill. Now more could be make sure the institutional aspect, constitutional aspect first, and some about the content. And give me a little time. Not me for too much of your time.
Maybe up to 11.
I am happy.
11:30 then.
may read the report not comprehensively because I mean I am jump, but there was a letter now dated 16th October 2020 or sent it to the president. I'm sure we will be. This is it should be about 13 pages. Or summarize the key points, highlights of the report.
The report now has 67 pages.
But this 13-page letter addressed to the president exclusively highlights those areas of key importance. It gives you an idea. It's a summary. Kwame.
Kwego.
And the president's reaction, as well as the finance minister's reaction. The totality of all this, I'm happy.
Yeah. Transparency.
Yeah, war an institution. We had all made a lot of noise about how attorney generals, because we're legal advisors, when we were constrained and restrained and all that. Or can we be? It was part of the philosophy behind the creation of this office, even though there's still a certain linkage to the attorney general's jurisdiction. You read the act now. You see, I'm happy generally. There. 28 is 8 years down the line in this democratic consolidation. You were an institution on its own drive. Obertum why you search a report, and as Cabrera indicated, on our side in your investigations. But yes, Kwame, you were acting under which legal regime? He's entitled to do so under the law.
Yeah.
Apart from Act 9, the Parent Act, which is 959. There is the chrono. The legislative instrument, the LI 2374, Regulation 31, talks about prevention of corruption. If you take your time to read it, net corruption risk assessment is not illegal or unconstitutional.
You mean
outside his
risk assessment?
Yes, he's entitled to do that based on the mandate we have given to his office. It's good, and indeed, I believe going forward, this whole corruption risk assessment and it means institutionalize it. The principle is what I'm talking about. Into Kwame.
Where you go?
In principle, I think as a nation, what has happened is a reflection there. We are making some progress. However challenging the path we have chosen is. Minister Name response is also out there in the public domain. Report also is out there in the public domain. Ninya good. It can't take any time. No one read. I didn't hear. No one bribe to a conclusion. Yes, there's a part. I'm the end of the crowd. Not confirming. I was telling Kwame before. Later on, Kwame from the Minty City News, but while any distracted. Kwame wake him up. I be honest with you, I went back to bed.
Oh, you went back to sleep?
No, I couldn't tune in. But we issue statement which is dated November 3rd in reaction to Ahin's and something I told Kwame, he has himself made public, even though the words are different. President interacted with him when Kenufurata submitted on any memo to president. In there, this 13-page, was addressed to the president, copied to the finance minister. So the president asked the finance minister to respond, so that to give him a brief. The brief now can demand, which is in the form of a memo, on the president calling special prosecutor's attention to the O. There is this
a response.
So if you can consider.
Also on here.
No, so on here. And on also why in the public. The words that were used to communicate the decline, mean to me kawaha. But I liked it. That yes, you have somebody holding this office, an appointee of the president who was having the interaction with him, and he's saying that no way, sir.
Standing up to him.
Yes, I won't take it. But the kind of word he used is a different matter. Now, he puts it in a statement in reaction to Ahin there. He was seeking to protect the independence of the office. One level, he's right. I'm in the middle. I'm a mandate. Act and preserves my independence. I act the way I act. Of course, if he does something which is wrong, it's subject to judicial review. Don't forget. Or investigator and prosecutor on your court. And I'm yes. I'm happy that we have this situation, which indicates to some people, because already for a long time, because president na one pedo the one in president were in cahoot. Minim someone tibia. There ain't no age man. And true to maybe we hold ya it be further on ye and he seized with them with delay. That's the word. Just to be charitable. Check us. Yes, it shows that that man is not being manipulated, controlled by the president or the presidency as alleged or perceived. That he is what he is and he's doing his work. I'm happy with that. However, Kwame, having said all this, now you do a content analysis of the report, and that's where the divide is. Okay, why your observations? In my candid opinion, also on your investigations into on your findings, on your recommendations, but on your observations, some of which are adverse. Sometimes I find it difficult to see the difference between the observations which are adverse and adverse findings, in my candid opinion. But perhaps I'm a lawyer and uneducated when it comes to some of these deep legal matters. Into my fund, let the confusion stay in my own mind. But Kwame, there are things that he has said. For instance, the rigging, the bids were rigged.
Bid rigging.
Maybe we because anytime until I'll be out of location. Make a age map including finishing touches to the almighty work in progress. Kwame Ndindi. You'll be the first to be told when it's ready. And
I'll be the first to be extremely happy.
Yes, and you might launch it.
But of course.
Kwame, it could page 3 of elected to the president now, which is a summary of the report now. There's something about decoy, data ban decoy. He also conclude that.
Forgive me on this one. It should have rather been a decoy if data bank was using Imara. But this one is the other way around.
It's the other way around.
And it's purely private between two private companies.
And the truth of the matter is that I have the procurement board's communication here, all of it. 8 companies were invited to bid. By the time of the closure of their bidding, only 2 companies had responded. Imara and Morgan something. You see, it's all here. And so it is not as if only 2 were sent and 1 was picked. 8 were invited. By the closure of the process, 2 had responded, out of which Imara was chosen. It's also true that there's an indicative point there, Ibenya local partner, and then data bank backs that one. Perception, you can interpret it any way you want. Check if data bank has a credibility, integrity, track record, and whether the process was transparent relative to the Procurement Act. For me, that's why I go the program. Kwame, pacho meba. No, me read 2-3 paragraphs. Let me sum up. Meaning they will continue this discussion beyond next week. Maybe also disclosed assessment disclosed a reasonable suspicion of bid rigging and corruption activity, including the potential for illicit financial flows and money laundering in the arrangement of how the fees payable to Data Bank of Ghana as a decoy, which was not approved under the Public Procurement Act 2003, Act 663, as amended by the Public Procurement Authority Amendment Act 2016 at 914. Chetasi. That's one. Kwame, there's another one here.
Which is your last one?
No, two more. Okay? Okay, summarizing. He talks of opaquely for corrupt purposes in the absence of probity, so and so and so. He talks of the analysis of risk, corruption, and anti-corruption assessment of the chairman and other board members, taking into account their respective backgrounds and associations, indicated a real likelihood of almost all of them being affected by partisan considerations in discharge of their duties, as they appear to lean towards only one political persuasion in the country, making the perception of probity, transparency, and accountability very low in the management of such an important national extractive mineral resource revenue under the control of the fund. There are many more such things driven by perception, suspicion, whether reasonable or unreasonable is not the issue, conjecture, all those things. Judgment. Interestingly, also on your investigation, findings.
So what is it?
Recommendations. Look, I swear to you, Kwame, I would love if the special prosecutor went one step beyond this corruption assessment and seeks to give it judicial back by going to court.
Yeah.
Because see, some of the in some now
to test some of his
even
claims.
If I'm on your investigation, they are serious. That should not be left unpunished if they are indeed crimes against the
state.
philosophy.
The state.
You cannot deal with others differently. So if indeed
he's convinced,
and he's my friend, and indeed I can't sit here and say they made my influence. Never, minimum character. You can't push him left or right, and that's one good thing about him, is that this matter, he should go beyond just this mere assessment. Test his findings, or he calls them observations and conclusions,
assessment
in the court of law. Now,
and I put the brakes here. Ibu in second D says good morning, Kabila. So Kabila, your friend Ibu says good morning and Mr. Emmanuel Redu at Efian Quanta Hospital. Good morning to you as well.
I'm reading something.
Incident. One was one was if every man can.
It's of interest.
My catalog. Nyame pia. And I'm many time to read all into, but the point I'm making. Suspicions and all those perceptions. Then me quote Justice Akokosa in the course of delivering the verdict on the Kulungugu bomb blast.
Justice Akokosa, not Akokosa.
Yes. Venerable
Akokosa.
Yeah, me partner in memory there. When the family were around, Mambo Jini. It's a very dignified, venerable personality in Ghanaian history. Kwame, also a string of suspicions, however numerous and however grave, can never be multiplied together to produce proof of guilt.
A string of
a string of suspicions, however numerous and however grave, can never be multiplied together to produce proof of guilt.
Unquote.
December 9th, 1963.
Sir Justice Aku
It is on this basis that he discharged and acquitted Akwaje, Adamafio, and Kofi Krab.
In the Kulungugu bombing.
Exactly. But they convicted the two UP members, Menu and Ochre. I had a lot of UP worker there. There were no UP elements involved in that. They were.
And Kokrokoo rest his case. In the meantime, this one says happy birthday to Mr. Henry Shreme of the Ministry of Finance. It's from Echo Brand to you. Have a good one there. We've come a long way from when we signed in this morning. Time to go. Kofi Kumbilson is next. The next news broadcast is at 12. And this one says, happy birthday to Miss Wilma Ikuya Catherine Koyochu. It's from your brother Kid and so. Remember to keep your dreams and hopes alive. God bless. Good morning.